Hi folks, today we're going to look at the InWatch Z, which is a very unusual product indeed. It's actually not a smartwatch, it's a full-blown Android 4.4 KitKat mobile phone. Yep, they've managed to squeeze a whole cell phone into the size of a fairly large but quite elegant watch. So it's pretty amazing. Let me give you the specs before we go any further. It has a 1.3 gigahertz dual core processor in it, 1 gigabyte of RAM, 8 gigabytes of storage on board. The screen is about 1.6 inches squarish, 240 by 240 resolution, and it has GPS in it. Has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, accelerometer, magnetometer. It supports Google Play. It has a gravity sensor, a 580 milliamp hour battery, and it weighs around 95 grams. Incredibly small. Probably the smallest Android KitKat phone in the world at the moment. Size 60 by 40 by 12 millimeters. It's also splash proof, IP57, so you don't want to go swimming with it or anything like that. And it has things like a sapphire crystal screen, so it doesn't get scratched on the top and stuff like that. And it has a 5 megapixel camera, which you can probably just see there at the top. Holds a micro SIM in there and charges via a micro USB charger which clips onto there. I'll show you in a second when I go through the box bits. So let's have a look at the box before we go any further and see what's in there. You have a very nice little flat ribbon USB charge cable, and this slots into, or you can use any standard cable, you don't just have to have that, into this little adapter thingy. And what that does is clips onto the side of the strap like this, just under the camera. You can feel it sort of slot in, and then you place the charge cable, either this one or a standard charge cable, into that. Can you see that? A little slot there. So it goes in there like so, and fits into the charge point. And it charges like that. Doesn't take very long to charge. It was a 500 milliamp hour battery in it. It's quite a quick charge up. Of course, you know, it's not going to last a huge amount of time, so I think it's designed more as a secondary sort of I don't know, if you don't want to take your smartphone with you, you can take a phone without having to worry about that sort of stuff. So you come in the box. It comes with a little SIM remover, and then you just pull that out like so, and there's your SIM under there, a little micro thing. Very, very cute. Let's have what else is in the box. The only slight disappointment is the documentation. I don't know, because this could be because we've got an early model or something. Certainly I don't think anybody else has got the KitKat version of this, and the documentation seems to be rather hurriedly put together for the English side. I assume they have a better Chinese version, but this is basically sort of 2 sheets of photocopied notes, which if you know your way around Android, you're not going to have a problem, because it's basically a very Android interface. In fact, it's frighteningly well done, I think, in that respect, that you're instantly familiar with it. So let's have a look at what we're talking about here. Okay, basically you get a touch screen. It's 1 finger capacitive, so you're not going to get 5 fingers or 3 fingers or anything like that, just 1. And you can go to the camera, messaging, and to the basically what I suppose you'd call the app drawer, which is where all the stuff sits that you're going to want to use it for. And what have we got here? Well, we've got up front, this is a little quick start menu, which if you swipe left, you can use. As you notice, it's quite sensitive, so if you drag from the top, you'll get the notification bar. So there you see, let me hold that a bit closer for you and keep it in focus. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS location, the data connection, silent mode, and brightness of the screen and stuff like that. This little button down the bottom here is the back key, and that's the only one you've got, sort of Apple style. And if you go into I'll go back and show you the navigation on this. So fire up, there's the thing. So if I go over to the app drawer, and there you have the pedometer, which is the first app you get to see, so you can measure your steps and make sure you're staying fit while you're walking around. Make it run in background. Camera, and you can see there that it's not. We'll put up some samples, but it's not an amazing camera. Funnily enough, the video is really much better. I was quite impressed with the video, to be honest with you. But the camera is okay. It's an okay camera, and you just press to take a shot, and you have sort of controls and stuff. In club, I assume is the Chinese, because it's all in Chinese, the Chinese forums or something for the actual product. Notifications, as you'd expect, is stuff that comes through, including things like updates and stuff like that. And then we have email, messaging. So everything is, as I said, it's surprisingly well structured. That they've managed to cram the full interface in here in a fairly logical and usable format. You know, you can actually use it as a real phone and look up people and do all sorts of stuff that you would do normally on a standard Android phone. So they haven't cut it down. It's not that they've actually decided to make a cut down version of Android. This is a full-blown phone. I'm very impressed. You can change your clock styles, as you would expect, as most smartphones will do. So can you see that? You've got, the sun's decided to come out, of course. You've got quite a, let me just give you a colourful one. You can have a look at the colourful one there. There you go. So that's kind of a more ladylike, I suppose you'd say. And you can do other things like go into shake. You can have a shake to light up the phone. So when you move your hand, the phone comes alight. They say that they recommend you don't do that because it will use up more battery life, and you're not going to get a huge amount of battery life on this. You're limited by your 500 and whatever it is milliamp hour battery. So don't expect 2 days, will you? Wi-Fi, Bluetooth here. This is settings, of course. Let me just show you what it's running, and we'll show you that it's running Android 4.4.2. Can you see that? I hope you can. So it is a full-blown KitKat phone. Not running 3G, of course. So the maximum we'll get out of this is Edge, which is not bad. You know, it's good enough for this phone because you're not going to be transferring a huge amount of data to get onto this phone. So I don't think you're going to be losing that much by not having full 3G or 4G. As you'd expect with a Android phone, you will have alarms, calculator. There's a nice little compass. Have a look at that. There you go. I mean, I like the fact they've got the sensors in there as well. Stopwatch and timer, and apps. Now I've downloaded Chrome. The thing I found is it'll download well-written, compact kind of apps. If you start, don't think you get sort of large-scale games on there because you're not going to be able to run them on this tiny screen. But for instance, I had downloaded Klondike, the solitaire game, and it's very small. But you can, believe it or not, you can do it. You can drag stuff around. You just have to get used to having very tiny fingers doing, you know, very precise use of your fingers. If you've got clunky fingers, you're in trouble. And I also downloaded, because it's fully compatible with Google Play, the App Store, I downloaded a Maps app, the OSM and the open source Maps ad application. And look at this. It works. It's just so cool. This is not coming from any other phone. This is on board. Yeah, it's really nice. With the GPS, you know, you've got the best of all worlds. You can use it as a sort of a mini navigation system for you. So, yeah. Oh, and music player, of course. Oh, here's the cool thing about the music player, and actually the one of the cool things about the phone in general. In fact, let me just do that from here. There we go. There's an example of. There you go. Now you can't hear that, but if let me just do this. Put it on. See the clip. You can adjust the strap and stuff. Can you hear that? It's got a bone conducting speaker feature on it, which is really cool. I'm just tapping this on the box. Can you hear? Yes, of course you can. There you go. Hey, you can put that on. I really like this. So you can put this on any surface that'll conduct, and it'll turn into a speaker. How cool is that, eh? I mean, it's not brilliant. I mean, it's not hugely loud, but awesome. Stick that over your head when the call comes in, and you'll hear the call all the way through your brain. Not sure how good it is for you though. There you go. That's one of the coolest things I found on the. Oh, this is just the. Oops. That's one of the coolest things I found on the whole thing. And oh, these are just the. See what I mean about having to fiddle around a little? These are just the little notifications and stuff like that. You know, for apps and stuff. I'm going to take it off again because it's a bit difficult to demo when it's on your wrist, because my wrist then has to be quite twisty. What else have we got at the end here? Oh yeah, Play Store you've seen, and you've got sound recorder. Here's another one, little voice recognition. Cats. Oh, let's try that again. Cats. There you go. Cats the musical. I don't think it's not quite how I wanted kittens really, but there you go. You got voice recognition, so you can do voice searches and stuff like that, which is very cool. And you got things like weather, of course. I'm not sure whether I downloaded that app or whether it came with a phone, but anyway, it works fine on there. So there you go. I mean, as you can see, I'll put it on again. It's not ugly. It's certainly no bigger than any of the standard smart watches, which are attached to you know, your mobile phone in your bag or your pocket. And I think it's quite incredible they've managed to get this all into the same kind of form factor, but it's a whole phone. So anyway, let's try phoning this LG by doing cycling up and doing that. There you go. Cool, calling from my phone. I mean, these I really like that. Okay, thank you. No, I don't want to do a voicemail. So the interesting thing is these kind of phone watches have been around for a while, but they've all been really clunky and really quite ugly, and you wouldn't want to put them on your wrist or any of that kind of stuff. You know, you really they're just a gimmick. But I think this is the first phone watch I've ever seen which is more than a gimmick. It's actually a very wearable product, and it's sort of something you would walk out with of a night, you know. And there's your, what are we on, 62% battery now. You won't get it. You'll get a day if you're careful with it. You know, if you're doing anything like anything serious, you got to remember that, you know, you've got a tiny antenna in there hunting for the signal and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to bear time. But you know, you get a. I should imagine you get about as much as you get off an iPhone. Whoops, did I say that? I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm kind of saying, yeah, this is pretty cool. I've got to say. Let me try another phone thing here just to show off the versatility. There you go. You can look a bit sort of classic there. This is the InWatch Z. So as usual, if you've enjoyed this video, please like it and share it and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more cool reviews.